You've worked your whole life to reach retirement, but here's the truth. Most people make at least one mistake that ends up costing them tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not because they're careless. It's because retirement today is more complicated than ever. So in this video, we're breaking down 10 of the biggest retirement mistakes people make and how you can avoid them. And stick around until the end because mistake number 10 isn't about money, but it can completely derail your retirement if you ignore it. Mistake number 1 is retiring too early, without a spending plan. A lot of people focus on hitting a magic number, maybe $1 million, maybe two. But the real question isn't how much you've saved, it's how much you'll spend. Once you stop working, your expenses often surprise you. Travel, home projects, helping family, hobbies, they add up fast. And if you retire too early without a solid plan, that money can disappear faster than you expect. Here's an easy test. Before you retire, live for 6 months on your expected retirement income. No side paychecks, just the money you'll actually have coming in. If it feels tight now, it'll feel tighter later. Adjust before you retire, not after. Mistake number 2 is ignoring sequence of returns risk. Here's something most people never think about. The order of your investment returns matters just as much as the average. If the market drops right after you retire and you're still pulling money out, your portfolio can shrink fast and might never fully recover. Here is a fix. Keep 2 to 3 years of living expenses in safer assets like cash or short-term bonds. That buffer gives you time to ride out market downturns without selling at a loss. Mistake number 3 is claiming Social Security. Too early. It's tempting to start collecting Social Security the minute you can, at 62. But claiming early can lock you into a smaller monthly check for life, sometimes 25 to 30% less. If you can afford to wait until 67 or even 70, your benefit goes up every single year you delay. You can run your numbers through a Social Security calculator or meet with a planner. A few extra years of patience can mean thousands more each year later on. Mistake number 4 is forgetting about taxes. A lot of retirees assume their taxes will drop once they stop working, but that's not always how it works. Withdrawals from 401ks and traditional IRAs are taxed as regular income. And once required minimum distributions kick in, your tax bill can climb again, sometimes pushing you into a higher bracket. Try thinking long-term. Doing partial Roth conversions in your early 60s, before RMDs start, can save you thousands later and give you more control over your income in retirement. Mistake number 5 is underestimating healthcare costs. Healthcare is the wild card that catches a lot of retirees off guard. Even with Medicare, a retired couple can easily spend $12,000 to $20,000 a year on premiums and out-of-pocket costs. And that doesn't include long-term care, which can wipe out savings fast. Here is a tip. Plan early. Build healthcare into your retirement budget. Open or fund an HSA if you can. And look into supplemental or long-term care insurance. It's not fun to plan for, but it's essential. Mistake number 6 is getting too conservative with investments. After decades of saving, it's natural to want to protect what you've built. But going too conservative can backfire. If your money sits in bonds or cash, inflation quietly eats away your buying power. Over 20 years, that can cut your spending power in half. Aim for balance. A mix of stocks and bonds, often around 40 to 60% in equities, can help your portfolio grow enough to keep up with inflation without taking on too much risk. Mistake number 7 is ignoring inflation. Inflation is a slow burn, but it can destroy your retirement if you ignore it. Even at 3% a year, your money loses about half its value over a typical retirement. Make sure to protect your future self. Include assets that tend to outpace inflation, things like stocks, REITs, or inflation-protected bonds. It's not about chasing returns. It's about keeping your money working as hard as you did. Mistake number 8 is not adjusting your spending. Here's something many retirees forget. Your spending isn't static. You'll likely spend more in your 60s on travel, fun, and bucket list goals, and less in your 80s. So a rigid 4% forever withdrawal rule doesn't always make sense. Try this tip. Be flexible. Spend a little less when the market's down and allow yourself a bit more when times are good. That simple flexibility can add years to your portfolio's life. Mistake number 9 is skipping estate and legacy planning. Estate planning isn't exciting, but skipping it can be a costly mistake. Outdated wills, missing beneficiaries, or no trust in place can leave your family stuck in probate or paying unnecessary taxes. Review your estate documents every few years, especially after big life changes like marriage, divorce, or the birth of a grandchild. This isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind for your loved ones. Mistake number 10 is ignoring the emotional side of retirement. This last one might surprise you. It's not financial at all. Retirement can be an emotional shock. When you lose the structure and identity that work provided, it can leave you feeling lost or even depressed. Plan for what's next, not just what you're leaving behind. Stay connected, find new goals, explore hobbies, volunteer, or even turn a passion into a small side project. Money gives you freedom, but purpose gives you happiness. Retirement isn't just about reaching a number. It's about living smarter once you get there. Avoid these 10 mistakes, and you'll protect not just your savings, but your peace of mind. Because remember, retirement isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a brand new chapter.